Sean, Everton are safe. How good does that feel?
Feels very good. Coming off of all the knocks we've had, we've relied on no one but ourselves this season, and the fans have played their part, to be fair, but no one outside of, the club and the fans. We haven't been given anything, no easy ride, and I'm super proud of everyone involved because, the knocks keep coming, including myself, by the way. The reason for that is because this job was not the way it got pitched to me, trust me, or what's happened. So, to focus and refocus, as I call it, on, right, this is now the new job in hand. I've been pleased with that, trying to manage that, trying to handle it and make sure the players stay focused on the literal job in hand, and they've done that, and my staff as well. So I've been pleased with that part of it. But they've been terrific. I mean, the players were stretched again today, but the mentality's grown. I think it's fair to say that early season, I did say if we keep with consistent behaviours, it pays you back, and it has done. Because we haven't been as fluid as early season, we haven't made as many chances, but we've found wins, and over a balance of a season, then you deserve them wins, particularly when people take 8 points off you. It's a big challenge, that.
You've been around football for a long time. I mean, given the challenges that you and Everton have faced this season, just can you put it into some sort of context how extraordinary you think this achievement is?
Well, it's certainly my biggest one to lead a group to where it was and where it is. Different last season. I mean, that was tough enough, but this season's been incredibly tough, and to see through the feeling, the noise at times. Took a few hits myself, but that's part of my job. I haven't got a problem with that. And to stay focused on the job in hand, myself and my staff and the players. The players inevitably, right? So we can only lead, and we can only advise on what's good for them. It's whether they accept it and whether they deliver it. And they've been first class, even through all the challenges we've had. They've been first class.
After the win over Bournemouth from the last game of last season, your message was one of realism, I think, saying that there was more work to be done. What would your message now be?
Same. I said it after the Derby win. I said, look, there's a long way to go for this club to get back to where people think it should be. The difference between thinking it should be somewhere and actually being there is a huge difference. Modern life, modern football, it's run on perception. It's not run on facts. And, people wanted the truth. I try and tell them the truth. Then the truth is not the truth and all that, and it's human nature. We're all guilty of it, you know what I mean? So I just think it's a big achievement. Particularly 8 points is the biggest thing because what people, you don't want to cry it in when it happens, but what you got to remember, and I think people do, but it doesn't make a story, obviously, is that it changes the mentality. That's the biggest thing. People can say, oh, yeah, but you roll your sleeves up. But what about the bit when you go, oh, we shouldn't have to roll our sleeves up because we were actually doing really well and we were going in the right direction. And then you get 6 and you go, right, that's bad enough. And you respond to that. Then you get another 2. And you go, well, hang on a minute, where does that live? Now imagine they're not there. Trust me, we wouldn't have had a run of 13 without it. It wouldn't have happened because the wings are open still. You go and take it on. But the noise here, it's so... Partly the club, I spoke about this recently, partly the club from what's happened, and partly it's an easy story for you guys. And I've got a good relationship with all of you, but it's an easy story. So Everton's become an easy story. The whipping boys of the Premier League, what's easy? Well, Everton, let's go and get on them. And now we're beginning to change it. We've got to change it, and it is mine, the team's responsibility, and we're beginning to change that. Let someone else have the negativity, let someone else have the story. Because we've just opened ourselves up, and me included. The Chelsea game opens me up, it opens the team up for more negativity. To try and push that away, it has to start with the base, as I call it. It has to start with the truth. And there are 2 things I've been attempting to put in here: a base to work from and the truth.
Thank you.
Hi Sean, despite all the adversity, how proud are the players in that changing room at the moment?
I think they're very pleased. They get a couple of down days now to enjoy themselves because obviously they haven't had, in the Derby we were in the next day, we're in obviously all week. They should be very pleased and very proud of themselves. I said halfway through the season, when the noise was changing because of the points, and it's weird how life is, but it suddenly gets attached to me. It was nothing to do with me, but then I have to manage through it. And I said to him, then look, this is the fact, this is what's happened. So therefore we've got to deal with it. And I couldn't be more proud of that, the reaction to do it. And the last 4 out of 5 games, 4 clean sheets out of 5 and 4 wins out. That's a marvellous thing, and particularly, obviously, with the Derby win as well. That's an incredible thing, and the players for sure should be very proud of this. As I'm certainly proud of them.
Did you see three wins and 3 clean sheets after that Chelsea game? Did you see that going?
Well, I thought we could get a reaction. Clean sheets are hard to come by, but I thought we could get a reaction. So I must say, I think, you don't own the Derby game because of the history and the records and all that. And they're a very, very good side. We know that as well. At home, did I think that we could change the stats of the season? Yes, I did. I think, like I said earlier, the payback of a season's work is that if you're making as many chances, creating as many good performances as you were early season and not winning, something about football, as long as you keep doing it, it pays you back. And I think it has paid us back with the consistency of the training schedule, the consistency of my staff, myself, and the consistency of the players to believe in what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah. And you said on telly, you were all desperate for Luton to win and for us to lose. This isn't my first.
Are we going to go down that road again? No. Right, so it was a joke, quite obviously. I was trying to express that they said, oh, what does it feel like? And as if like it was a given. They said, oh, you were safe anyway. And I went, yeah, that old chestnut. So let's not make a story out of a joke, because that's happened to me so many times here. I was joking, suggesting the media would have been more pleased if they win, we lose, and go, ooh, and it creates another story. There's a joke, everyone. I've got nothing against Luton. I think they've done an amazing job, including Rob, who's a really good guy. Nothing to do with anything. Please don't make a story out of nothing. That happens too often now.
You just mentioned at the start about the job, not the pitch wasn't the same as what you thought you were getting. In what ways has it proved different?
Well, just the idea of get us through this season, and there'll be a more balanced view of the club going forwards. And by no means pots of gold, but there'll be, money available to twist and change and change the viewpoint of the club on the pitch, and therefore change the viewpoint off the pitch. By the summer, it was like, well, there isn't a pot of gold, that's for sure. And then trying to work with deals that are interesting in my world to try and get them to happen, back-loaded deals rather than front-loaded deals, the script. And then trying to change, like I say, that negativity that seems to have hung over the club for 3 years. And it's just beginning to lift, it's just beginning to change a little bit. And then now, of course, you can point out all the bright bits of a season. You can point out a club that stayed connected, including the fans who have been amazing. You can point out the development of some young players here. I mean, Jared and Jimmy and, Pato's had an indifferent year, to be fair, but he's still developing and very unlucky with injuries. And then you add in the mix of Shames, who's got heart as big as a bucket for this club. And then you got Ashley Young, different class. I said to all the young players, don't look at anyone else other than him. At his age, still doing that. The way he trains, gets out there, hardly ever injured, hardly ever needs anything on his body than just getting out there and training. Leave him in, leave him out, absolutely solid as a rock. No problem, Gaffer, I'm ready. And all that mix, it's important in a group, how they all rub off on each other. And I think that's an invaluable thing, along with the storyline, because at the end of the day, I've got to win. That's it, that's my job, you've got to win. But you win enough to change the culture, change the environment, and change the storyline. And we've managed to do that this season.
You'd obviously want Ashley to stay then.
Sorry?
You'd obviously want Ashley to stay.
As I've told you, we're open to all sorts of things at the moment with all sorts of players. There's varying situations, and over the coming weeks we'll be looking at what we can do.